Hi, this is Roca Cruz, and welcome back to Be.Live, where we talk about being yourself and living your purpose. This is part 4 of our series on self advocacy. If you haven't listened to the first 3 episodes, I suggest you go back and start there so this makes more sense. We began with a simple situation many of us experience: feeling rushed, dismissed, or left out of a decision that directly affects us. That moment is usually where self advocacy begins. Today, I want to make this very practical. Self advocacy is often misunderstood. Some people think it means just following your feelings or asserting your rights immediately. Others think it means trusting your gut and reacting. But real self advocacy is more grounded than that. It's not blind self trust. It's taking time to understand what's really happening before you decide what to do. You just don't react, you equip yourself. Most of the time, self advocacy starts with a signal. Anytime you feel dismissed, unheard, rushed, or left out of a decision that affects you, that's a signal. It doesn't mean something is wrong. It usually means you don't have enough information yet. So instead of reacting that way, the more useful move is to pause and ask yourself, what am I missing? What do I need to understand? What questions should I be asking? To keep it simple, I break self advocacy into 4 steps. I call it the LLAA: listen, learn, ask, and then act. The first L is listen. Notice what's happening inside you. Do you feel rushed, confused, unclear, or even pressured? Most people override this and just go along. But if you don't notice your own hesitation, you won't know when to slow down and understand more. Listening to yourself is not emotional, it's practical. It tells you when something needs more attention. The second is learn. So the first is listen, the second is learn. Once you notice something feels off, don't jump into conclusions. Don't speculate. Get informed. That doesn't mean scrolling on social media or watching one reel or just one video. It means taking time to understand the basics of the situation you're in. It can be medical. It can be a carpenter or your or any situation that you're in that's you need to learn something about it. Read more than one source. Then look for options. Understand the context. You just don't read. That's why you just don't watch reels. Social media can just be just a small part of the whole story. So read the whole context, read the whole story, the whole information. You don't have to become an expert. You need just enough understanding to make it clear. So the third, ask. So it's listen to yourself, listen, find out what's wrong and listen, and then learn. Research on that issue. And then third is ask. After you listen and learn, ask questions. Not aggressively, just make it just so that you can have a clear context of what's happening. Like the questions can be, Can you explain this further? What are my options? What happens if I wait? I need time to think about this. If you learn before asking, your questions are more specific and actually um, you're well informed to ask the right questions. So asking question doesn't make you stupid. It shows that you are taking responsibility of your decisions. Self-advocacy is not about challenging people or making them wrong and you're right. It's about participating instead of just complying. Listen, learn, ask, and then now it's act. The fourth, act. Do something. At some point, you have to do something or decide. You choose based on what you've understood. You may move forward, you may just stop, wait, adjust, or choose something else. Self advocacy is not just gathering information, it's using that information to make a conscious decision. Sometimes people stop at asking, but acting is what closes the loop. Even if the decision is small, you are now participating in your own life instead of just going along. So this week, try something simple. When something affects you personally and you feel rushed or unsure, don't decide immediately. Listen to what feels unclear. Learn what you need to understand. Ask the questions that matter. Then act based on clarity. So keep it simple. Remember, LLAA. Listen, learn, ask, and then act. In our final episode, we'll talk about what happens when you live this way consistently. Because over time, self-advocacy becomes self-respect and it changes how you make decisions, handle pressure, and deal with uncertainty. If you know someone that needs to hear this, share it. I'll see you in the final episode.